Hey, Fredonia Hill family. I was super excited over this week to be able to catch up with Jason Boyd, who is the Academy's incoming principal. So, as you know, Fredonia Hill Baptist Academy is connected to the ministry of our church. It's a mission outreach in the realm of education in our church. It's an awesome school, and we've got a new principal coming. So I wanted you to get to know him. So he and I sat down over a Zoom interview, which if you know anything about me and technology, you know what a leap that was. Man, he's a great guy, and so excited for you to get to know him. There's a few spots in the interview where it kind of it's because of our internet connections. It's kind of jumpy, so forgive us for that. But check this video out, get to know him a little bit, and I think too, just be praying for our academy and for the future for Jason as he steps in and as he starts to lead. So enjoy the interview and enjoy getting to know Jason. We're excited about having him.
Okay, so I've got Jason Boyd here with me. So pumped to have you. Jason is our new principal at the academy, and we wanted to have you come and hang out at the church with us and introduce you that way, but circumstances have kind of forced us to do other things. So I thought we would do a Zoom interview, and for both of us, this is a leap in technology. So we're gonna do the best we can. But just wanted to get to know you a little bit, chat with you. I've had the pleasure of getting to know you through the interview process, but wanted our people to start to get to know you. So tell us a little bit about you and your family, your wonderful family, and what has brought you to Nacogdoches.
Well, my name is Jason Boyd. Again, I'm originally from St. Augustine, which is obviously right down the road there on Highway 21. I actually got to marry my sweetheart from high school, and we've been married 32 years. That's Kathy. And I've got two grown daughters. In the interview, I talked about them being grown and gone, but that's not their names. It's Savannah is married to Montreal. They live in the Louisville area. And Bethany is married to John, and they are in they're in the Gladewater area, and both daughters are in education.
Okay,
Again,
so
I've been here
go ahead.
30 years in education. I've worn many hats in education. I've taught, coached, athletic director, principaled, route driver. I can pick up the trash, or I can wash the dishes. So I can do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, you had time as an AD, you had time as a coach, like you said, as an educator. You've done it all, and you've done it all. A lot of it has been kind of in the same place. You've been in Hawkins a long time, right?
Hawkins is a little town just north of Tyler. I've been here about 24 years now. Just fell in love with the place when I came. Going to be here a couple of years. So I've kind of been led here. As I finish up my career in public education, the doors have opened there in the greater Nacogdoches area. There was Fredonia Hill, the academy, and just things have just fallen into place just like a dominoes, and bam, bam, bam. We are looking forward to getting back close to our Kathy and our mothers are both still alive and well and great health, and getting in there and being a part of them. And looking forward to a new chapter you get with you guys there at Fredonia Hill.
Yeah, excited about it. Now, when we were in the initial, I can't remember if it was the first, second interview, you mentioned to me kind of having this euphoric moment back in Nacogdoches. And I can't remember but you said that there was either a spot at the SFA campus where you and your wife met, or is there a little SFA story in there?
Well, sort of kind of. We had our Miss Boyd, my wife Kathy, is my first date, and we actually went to the old theater downtown or right there by the campus. That was our first original date. And we've always been connected to Stephen F. Austin, but Nacogdoches was like the town to go to if you were in St. Augustine. Boy, you were living the high life if you were going to Nacogdoches. So
That's
we've got
great.
many ties to Nacogdoches.
So the first date was in Nacogdoches. So this is really coming back to the roots of the relationship for you guys.
Yes, first time I got to drive a vehicle, got to drive to Nacogdoches to the Godtail downtown. I was just living the dream going to Nacogdoches. That was a big deal to us.
That's awesome. That's great. All right. So something that if people look you up, and I know this was the case for me, people look you up, they find you on Facebook, they are going to find that man, you get into character when it comes to education. And even the first video I saw of you was it was a bus training of some sort. And man, it was hilarious. So tell me a little bit about these videos and getting into character, and tell me a little bit about that.
Well, for the last few years as a history teacher, I've always wanted to get kids involved in history. I have a love for it as a teacher, and some kids don't quite have a love for it. So I would most certainly try to get them involved. Again, I thought we would go dressing up, being in character, from George Washington to Ben Franklin is one of my favorites. Patrick Henry, when I get the kids going fired up. But we've stormed the beaches of Normandy as a classroom. I just want kids to get involved in the history and just see how much fun that can be. I went to a workshop when I was working as a principal, and they were moving to the video notes or video, because obviously people are getting more involved with that. And they pretty much said, if you can keep your video to about 3 minutes, people will stay engaged with you. Yep. So after about 3 minutes, you kind of need to, land that plane. If you don't, people will disengage. But I would send out some of my notes as principal, our weekly announcements. And again, I've always liked to make people laugh. My goodness, we're having too much. There's enough stress on this planet. So let's enjoy it, have some fun with it. And most certainly, one of my theories is you can laugh at me or with me, because either way, it's going to make your life a little bit better, maybe.
That's awesome. Well, there's got to be, so one of the things that I'm dying to know, there's got to be a time where the costumes or the videos, or whatever, went wrong or didn't go as planned, or someone had a reaction. Surely you've got a good story behind one of those that you can share with us.
Well, the best story I've got, again, they'll ask me to perform it, and I was performing at Christmas time this year with our elementary kids. They were doing a Christmas a baby New Year, and they thought I would look great in an adult diaper, so I got dressed up as baby New Year. Well, I never practiced with the kids, so they weren't expecting me. And so when I came out on the stage, and I don't know if we can see this.
Oh yeah.
If you can see that. But anyway, the look of horror on those kids behind me.
Yes.
Most kids love to hug me, but these kids were like well, they were backing up. Well, this wasn't in the program here. So most certainly that was one of the most humorous because I asked the teachers that were behind the stage. I said, when did I go on? They said, we don't even know. And I went, well, that's not good. So I'm trying to get somebody's attention to kind of freelance it out there. And when I did, the timing was good, but the kids had no idea what was about to happen. And there was about 150 shocked kids on stage going, somebody better call 911 because this wasn't in the program.
Yeah, I think if people will rewind this to the point where you showed that picture, there's a kid I saw in the bottom right-hand corner that just looks like he's about to lose his mind.
He's not doing this. Stranger danger here.
That's awesome. Well, I think that's been one of the things that I've been so excited about is just as you've been coming, one of the things you wanted to bring, we talked about, you and I talked about the word culture. What kind of culture are you going to be bringing? And I think to me, the thing that stands out about you is you bring a culture of fun and joy and relationship. You've talked about wanting to be in the classroom a bunch and really be super relational with the kids. That seems to be really kind of how God has orchestrated your heart in terms of reaching people. Is that accurate to maybe say?
I guess I've been blessed with great mentors that have really poured into my life, from high school to college coaches to some different things. But I've just had such quality people that poured into me, and most certainly that's made my life very easy. And I could most certainly relate. But I just want to encourage people. I want to encourage in the halls. We're going to be doing some high fiving and knuckle bumping when we can touch each other after post Corona.
That's right.
I just like to just be involved with kids and make their life better. Heck, I want to make everybody's a better life that I'm around.
Yeah, yeah. One of the things as we interviewed you, one of the very first things that you talked about was your faith journey, and I was really blown away by that. It was just such a cool picture of how God, even when we think we're kind of in a certain place, how God keeps working on us and drawing us to himself. So it's kind of somewhat of a unique story. You mind sharing that, just kind of how you came to Christ and how later in life that really seemed to evolve for you?
Well, I'm from deep East Texas, St. Augustine now. So I went to a little country church called Liberty Hill. Most certainly my parents had us there all 3 Sundays, or all 3 services. We didn't miss a Wednesday night either. We were going to be there.
Yeah.
But anyway, at about the age of about 8, I really felt the fear of hell. And again, I did not want to go to hell. Again, I didn't know much about my potential having a relationship with Jesus Christ, but I did not want to go to hell. I can tell you that. So as about 8 years of age, I walked the aisle. We went through the plan of salvation. I don't know if I didn't understand it exactly as an 8-year-old, but most certainly, I guess I was looking for fire insurance, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Then as I progressed in life, I've always been involved in the church. And even in Greater Hawkins up here, I was an ordained deacon. And somewhere around the age of 27, but about the age of 30, I really started questioning my relationship with Christ. Did I have a relationship? Where was I in my relationship journey? And I had some wisdom from my dear wife, who finally just kind of called me on the table. She said, "Do you have a relationship with Jesus Christ?" She's like,
"Wow,
wait a minute. Nobody asked me that, because I'm in church and I'm doing the church thing." But it's like, so anyway, at about the age of 30, I had to go down and just say, "Hey, Jesus, if you're not locked in on me, if I'm not locked in on you, I need a relationship. I need more than fire insurance."
Yeah.
And at the age of 30, I had to just ask Jesus Christ, like, "Jesus, help remove all the doubts of salvation, and I want you to be a focal point of my life." So there's that in a nutshell. And then just a few years later, as an athletic director, I was involved trying to potentially be involved in a church body that was trying to start up. It's like, hey, I didn't have time for that, God. And God said, "You know what? I can get rid of that athletic directorship for you, and I'll make sure you have plenty of time to work on this being a part of a new church body." And It's been just a phenomenal ride. It's like, yeah, God, did you call me to preach? And he goes, "No, I need you to, pick up trash at the church or whatever." But that's the strengths I have anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. That's powerful. And one of the things you talked about a bunch was just this group of men that you've surrounded yourself with. Earlier, you mentioned having great mentors in your life, but it seems like even now for you, that group of men that you're walking life with and faith with has been a big part of your journey as well.
Well, again, I've been involved in a small group, and then I wanted to join a men's group. And this is kind of the men's group that kind of have journeyed with me, particularly this spring. Obviously, this is pre-corona. This will be PC, pre-corona. But
yeah,
I was just asking God, what's next in my life? As I finished this chapter, what was the next chapter? And these guys started praying with me as we went through a men's 33 group, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I know, we're getting a call to come down to visit you guys in Nacogdoches. And thinking, okay, well, let's just see where God's opening a door. Is this door opening wide? And by God, the door opened really wide. And this wasn't a crack. And it's like, God, if it's not the right thing, close this door so we can move on and find what you want us to do next.
Yeah.
So again, I've had some just quality people, again, prayer for me. Even in the interviews, I thought it was humorous, but that was the night where my men's group met, and they were in prayer for me as we went through the interview process with you guys down there.
Yeah, that's great. Well, talk a little bit about kind of as you're coming to the academy. We have a long history, some fantastic principles, and just a great history there. And excited for what's to come. And one of the things that we want as the church, we've talked about the school really being a mission of the church, and in the area of education, really sharing the gospel and sharing Christ. And you've had some really cool ideas and some things that you're going to bring. One of those, spoiler alert, one of those might be a mascot. I hear there's rumor of a FHBA mascot maybe coming, but what are some of the things that you're excited to bring? And as you kind of look into this next school year, what's that going to look like? What are you excited to bring to the table?
Well, it's one of the things I kept trying to tell you guys in the interviews that, this is my skill set I'd like to bring, the strengths I have. And one of the things is, we got to have a mascot. We got to be a rally cry about something. And most certainly, I'd love to have some kids input in the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. I've actually just visited with your teachers. That would be a thought I would like to be a part of that. Let's get a mascot going. Also, I would like to introduce a cross country in the spring for the 7th and 8th graders. And then even track in the spring. Excuse me, I said it backwards. Cross country would be in the fall, and track would be in the spring. Very soon, it may not be the first year, but I'd love to look into a basketball program. Some things where the kids can obviously take ownership in the competitiveness of athletics, which I believe is a very good thing. I believe in being competitive. Miss Fadun has been a tremendous wealth of knowledge for me here in the last few hours today, and talked about some different things. And I'd also love to add some academic contests and competing a little bit on the academic level, and just making where the kids have some things to look forward to. Be competitive, because it's okay to be competitive.
Yeah.
And to compete and just be quality people in the competition. That's some of the things I'd love to do.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Okay, so if I'm going to walk in the halls of a Jason Boyd school, what are those hallways going to be like? What am I going to experience? What's it going to be like to go to school under your leadership?
Well, I'm hoping somebody's going to meet you at the door. And like I said, we're going to have a high five. We're going to have something where there's going to be some energy, some enthusiasm. Again, we'll talk about shaking hands later, I guess. But again, that's something. I want to have some energy in the halls. Again, I want learning to be fun. I want the kids to get up thinking, hot dog, I get to come to school today. And it's going to be a good situation. And we're going to have some fun. We're going to learn and get some depth to our faith, get some depth to our academics, and just learn to be quality people and just have a good time.
That's great. That's great. Okay, so random question, but I think this would be good to kind of close down our interview. But what is the one thing that you are most excited about in Nacogdoches? What Nacogdoches thing are you looking forward to? Maybe it's a place to eat. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's the giant mall that is a huge tourist attraction here in Nacogdoches. But what do you think? What's the Nacogdoches thing you're excited about?
Well, again, I live in a town right now of about 1,000 people. 1,000. We have a Sonic, we have a Dollar General, and we have a couple of restaurants. So I'm looking forward to a variety of the Nacogdoches life.
There you go.
Again, I'm a big Axum Jacks now. We're going to Axum Jacks.
Yeah.
And again, my mom is doing well. We're going to attend some ball games. She's a big basketball fan. That's going to be fun for me as a son even.
Yeah.
And just look forward to have some Saturday football there with the Jacks, and just kind of live in a city for a while.
Yeah, there you go.
I got my Sonic drink now. Support my local restaurants
There
here.
you go.
But again, we're just looking forward to some variety and just seeing what's next in our lives.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, we are so pumped to have you. And it is what it is. I'm sad that this didn't happen in person, that our people can't meet you right now in person. But I just can't tell you how excited we are to have you come. I can't wait for people to get to know you in person once all this kind of clears and you can get boots on the ground in Nacogdoches and start to get to know you. But I know you got a ton going on and trying to juggle finishing up your school year and then also getting here. But I sure appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me and have our people get to know you a little bit, and we'll be able to continue the conversation with you here as the weeks unfold. So thank you so much for being with me.
Well, you're welcome. And just remember, I kept my old man glasses on like I wasn't supposed to. And don't forget the camera adds 15 pounds. So anybody seeing, I'm about 15 pounds lighter than I really look here.
That's good. Noted. Thank you so much, man. It's good to see you.
Okay. Have a good evening.
You too.